Welcome back to Destination Playdate. I am your host, Attack Slug, and this is Hope Lost, out now on catalog for a price of $9. As always, full disclosure, they sent me a copy. This is a card game, board game, turn-based survival type game with 6 apocalyptic scenarios. Let us hop in and show you how that works. They are in varying degrees of difficulty, and I can use the crank to crank around these different scenarios. The easiest being Armageddon. I've beaten it, as you can see on the bottom there, one time, and this is fortifying the bunker before the comets hit the Earth. Next up, we have the Alien Invasion with a 5 difficulty. We have Nuclear Winter with a 4 difficulty. There is the Great Flood. I've beaten that one too, one time. We have the Zombie Outbreak, which is a 3 in difficulty, and we have the Awakening of the Ancient One, a full 6 in difficulty. Let's head back to the Great Flood. Each of these has their own little custom intro, and this one, obviously, the water is there. There's no ark, we just must survive this Great Flood. Everything is submerged. As it turns out, you're not one of those lucky ones. Typical. Your only hope is to search the now underwater city for materials to build a raft large enough to keep you and yours afloat until help arrives. Main objective, fully construct the raft to survive that flooding. Round 1. So all of these scenarios, you have 6 rounds until it's game over. But in each round, you also have a sub-objective, this one being a supply shortage. Each round, the apocalypse will have its turn before your players have their turn. So, in a supply shortage, we have to get 2 of the apocalyptic materials. If we don't, then our morale will go down 1. If morale reaches 0, also game over. So either 6 turns or morale is 0, that's a problem. At the top, we have number 1, 6 turns. Number 2, we have 4 morale. Next to that, we have food. At the end of each turn, your crew here needs to get fed, otherwise you lose morale. After that, we have victims. Basically, you find extra people in the world as you scavenge, and those count as extra lives if your guys here die, and yes, they can die. After that, we have medicine to heal up if you're injured. After that, the little biohazard symbol is your apocalyptic items that you use in each of these different scenarios to hopefully succeed. And in this one, the custom material is the tanks of oxygen to survive these flooded areas. We currently have 0. We do need those 2 bits of apocalyptic material. Each of your survivors here, of the 1, 2, 3, and 4, has actions on each turn. You have 3 actions. Some things take more than 1 action per turn. But right now, all I can do is either move or end the turn. So, we choose to move at any of these locations. Right now, the ones that have the blinking wave symbol means either I can hold my breath and perhaps get injured, or I can just choose one that does not have that, like the ransacked restaurant. Each of these locations can only hold 2 of your peoples at one time. So you move there, and then you search, and you hope the RNG gods smile upon you favorably, like it did right there. So continuing to search, and hopefully getting enough for this supply shortage. There's an O2 tank, which is good to have, but now, player 1 ends my turn. Number 2, we can build the raft. Now, here's where it is a choice to make. I can use that apocalyptic material to build the raft, which is obviously the main goal here, or I save that for my current turn sub-objective of having 2 of those at the end of this turn. So I will instead move down here into the somber supermarket and hope to find more of that material. Also, you can get injured going from your base to these different various locales. So I don't want to fail my first sub-objective. Let's search here and hope for the best. I got more O2 tanks, which is good to have, but look, on each turn, this water is just going to get higher, because, you know, the Great Flood. These things happen. I got some food, which is good to have, but yeah, it's not great, so we're going to end the turn for man number 2. One very important thing to note is that even though my guys have not come back to base, the things that I salvage will still be available to use at the base. And so, we try to move to the hazardous hospital, and yes, I do need to use a tank to not get damaged in moving there. And so, we hopefully search this hazardous hospital, and maybe... Okay, another tank of oxygen, which is not really what I want. What I want is that. Okay, we have the 2 for the supply shortage. We're good there. We can end this turn. I do want to leave at least one guy at base because you got to be at base to be able to build the base. So this guy, unfortunately, is going to have a wasted turn here. It's fine. We did feed the survivors, which is good. And then we did complete the sub-objective. You do have the option to ignore that sub-objective and cost you morale. So we're going to ignore that. 5 rounds remain. Famine is this round's sub-objective. And the floods go through. You see the water there rising in these different locations. Which, yeah. Okay, thankfully, this one did not get hit. And maybe we can find what we need here. Bread, good, alright, but what I want is more raft building materials and not just bread and water. Like, I get it. It's fine. But yes, it is hoping that those RNG gods smile upon you favorably, because otherwise, it's gonna be a game over. In this somber supermarket, let's search. And maybe we'll find something that we actually need here, because, man, I got to build this raft. Having that is good, but not good enough. We have plenty of food. End that turn. This is going not the greatest thus far, but it's going okay. Okay, now, I have the option. Either move somewhere. I have 3 tanks, so let's just spend that and then continue our search for anything. There we go. Useful, which is good. Perhaps more than one. Healing stuff, alright, medicine is fine, we do need that, but we're kind of good. More medicine, and then end that turn. Which means that player 4 here can indeed say, build the raft. So I get one part of the raft here built, and that's all I can do with this player at this point, which is unfortunate, but yeah. You know, I like to leave somebody there just in case they can build something. Now then, 2 food to feed 1 guy and 2 victims, so that's cool. How many? I have 3 food, so yeah, spend 2. That's fine. And then now, disease. So the flood continues to happen here in this unfortunate area. I have tanks to spend, it's fine. Now it's hazardous, so spend that tank on this area, which is fine. But disease requires 3 medicine, 1 morale for 5 medicine on failure, losing 1 morale and 1 of your victims. We search. That's kind of the gameplay loop here, is you search and you hope for the best, because things get bad real quick. Now, because I'm out of tanks, I can either move or hold my breath. So we're going to stay for a turn here to search, and then maybe we'll find something useful besides food, medicine. And then we're going to move back to the base. So, might get hurt, might not. It's fine. We're good. And then end that turn. Hold your breath. And he's injured. Now, granted, I have a lot of medicine here, so you know what? I can just say heal up, and we're good. But again, that cost me a turn here, so I've only got so many actions in this game. And tank, great, fine, but not what I want. Food also, good to have, but it maxes out at 6. I already have maximum food here, so that's a problem. But also, if I go anywhere here, like any of these, that's just instant death. So I can't. It's just a waste. So we end the turn, and yeah. Food, feed, fed, cleared that objective. Supply shortage that is fully flooded on some of these, which, a little rough. Search that gas station. I found a victim, which, yeah, another victim. Sure. And some food. So, it's going poorly. The RNG gods have not smiled upon me in this game, which is unfortunate. Go to the abandoned, I can't go there? Oh, when it's full, I can't go there at all. That's funny. Okay. We're gonna get damaged here, it's fine. Shark attack! Oh, good God. And that's food. And we search. And there's a person. And we can't heal up anymore at all. So we just search again. If he dies, he dies. Finally something, but it's not gonna be enough. We're not gonna make it. So that's pretty much confirmed that we are done here. I did not build the raft in time. So yes. It's done. We failed. Morale. We lost the game. Defeat. Out of time. And that is generally, with obviously different variables in each of these scenarios, how Hope Lost goes here on the Playdates. It is $9 on catalog. Link down in the description. I am your host, Attack Slug. Keep on cranking. I'll see you next time right here for more videos. And I'm out.